Welcome to the last installment of our notes on civil disobedience. I just want to start by highlighting what I think you should have picked up on by now, right? What's the end goal of what we want to leave with? And the first thing is, right, don't trust anybody. Don't trust your government. Don't trust your teachers. Don't trust any of these bodies until you've tested their rules, their laws, their opinions, to see if they're right. And for Thoreau, it's a matter of slavery. Here's a government, right? It's basically saying slavery is okay, and it's not. It wasn't then. It isn't now. Of course, it's pretty obvious to us now. But the question would be, what are we doing now as a society on that same field? Something we should not be engaged in, but we are. And we don't care because we just trust that the government knows best. Now, in Thoreau's day, his suggestion for fighting any injustice would be to not pay taxes. Now, that doesn't really work anymore. For instance, my taxes are taken out of my paycheck before I even see my paycheck. It's very hard not to pay taxes when they're already taken out for me. And what's also changed since Thoreau's day is the government can actually go right into your bank account and empty it out, right? If you've seen the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, you'll kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Wake up one morning, go to pay a check, get some cash, and there's nothing left inside. Now, Thoreau's suggestion here to not pay taxes was, or could, I should say, have been useful had others gotten on the same bandwagon with him, right? His dream was that nobody in the northern half of the United States would pay their taxes. In the 1850s, we did not have the policy of just printing more money when we need it. So if so many people did not pay their taxes, it would literally bring the government to its knees. It wouldn't be able to operate. It would either have to shut down, or it would have to abide by what these people wanted, right? In other words, we're not paying taxes till we end slavery. And if there were 150 million people who did that instead of just one, that would obviously make a big difference. In Thoreau's case, he was just one man. Threw him in jail for the night, and he actually got out after one night because his aunt paid for him to get out, even though he did not want her to. He was trying to communicate something. Thoreau says, in an unjust society, the best place for a just person would be in prison, right? There's unjust laws, then the just thing to do would be to break them. Naturally, you're thrown into prison over it. This is the sort of paradox he likes to play around with, right? The other one, he's in prison for the night, and he's talking about how he's actually more free than the people outside of the prison. Say, no, Thoreau, that's contradictory. Actually, you're the one in jail. You are the one that's less free. But of course, this is a freedom of the mind that he's trying to get at. These people walking around, they are, in his opinion, slaves to the government, and they don't think for themselves. They just take what's given to them. In other words, Thoreau might be in jail, but mentally he's more free than his fellow Americans. Now, the trouble with Thoreau is that he failed miserably in his attempt to end the practice of slavery non-violently, right? 11 years after this is written, we as a country are engaged in a civil war. More Americans dying in the Civil War than all the other wars we've ever fought put together. It begs the question, what would we do had we actually listened to Thoreau? How would our history as a country be different? Well, it's hard to say. Obviously, his ideas did not catch on in the 1840s and 50s. But the point is, he has a very lasting legacy. That is, there are a number of historical figures, two of them behind me now, right? Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., who put into practice this idea of non-violence. That is, here's a group committing an injustice, and here we are as a people. How can we go after them without actually resorting to physical violence? For King, it wasn't not paying taxes. It was marches, boycotts, sit-ins, right? If they're going to throw us in jail for going to the wrong deli counter, right, then we're going to keep sending people in until the jails are full, till they can't physically deal with the amount of stress we're putting on their unjust laws. Right? It's the same theory, except for that for King, there were many people who joined with him. For Thoreau, he was kind of a loner. But he had the foresight to make a very huge impact on 20th century history in South Africa, India, America. And these are things we'll talk more about in class, but these are the things you want to be left with as you move on from civil disobedience. Thanks for watching.